How do you get through death if you are an atheist? I do not believe in religion anymore, but I do believe in a higher power and heaven. Where do they go? What gives you comfort? Okay, before we get to the main thing, if you believe in a higher power, that's religion. It just is. Religion is the belief in a god or gods. I commonly have people say in my comments, I don't have a religion, I just have a relationship with the Lord. And that's not a thing. If you believe, that means that you're religious. And believe it or not, the main reason why a lot of people still cling to religion is because they are afraid of death and they don't want there to be nothing after you're gone. And I absolutely get that. There is something a little bit kind of daunting about a finality to your life. But the thing about it is that hell and heaven, both of those sounded terrible to me. That eternity doing one thing for the rest of eternity just sounded like hell. I mean, think about it for a second. Say that you could go to this cloud city where you could just like hang out with your dead relatives and this people that you were always just fascinated by when you were alive. That sounds great for a day, a week, even a year, but an eternity? Say your favorite place on earth was Disney World. How long could you stay there before you were finally just like sick of it and wanted to go do something else? I don't want to spend an eternity consciously doing any one thing. So when I was a believer, death was actually more scary to me than it is right now, and I'll tell you why. First of all, when you're a believer, you're constantly worried that what if I wasn't good enough to get into heaven or the good place or whatever you want to call it? What if you followed God the wrong way? What if you were the wrong denomination? What if you were tested at one point in your life and you failed and you didn't know it? What if your name is not one of the names that's just written in the book of life? So you constantly have that fear in you that maybe I won't get in. So yeah, that's terrifying. Now, as far as death is concerned, there's a couple of ways that atheists look at it. One of them is, do you remember what your life was like before you were born? Probably not. And that's probably what your death is going to be like. Not really remembering much of anything. Now, if you want to look at it from a scientific perspective, physics tell us that energy cannot be created or destroyed, it just transforms. And everything that is alive on this planet is energy. So whenever it dies, it goes on in some form or another. Does our consciousness go with it? There's no way to know that, because nobody has really died and come back to tell us about it. Now comes the onslaught from all the people who have had near-death experiences. And there are scientific explanations for a lot of what they have experienced too. As you are dying, there is a chemical that is released into your brain. It's called DMT, and it makes you kind of, for lack of a better word, hallucinate things to make you feel better about your passing. For some people, they see a dead relative that came back to collect them. For some people, they see Jesus. You know how your brain kind of finds that perfect thing to just nag at you about or to give you nightmares about? Well, it can also give you these good feelings and these good hallucinations so that you feel at peace on your way out. Now, can our energy go on to reincarnate somewhere? Who knows? That hasn't been proven yet, though. And if it is possible, I don't want to be reincarnated back here on Earth. I want to go see other worlds, other universes. But there again, without any evidence of any of this, that's just kind of sci-fi. But the thing is death is just a normal part of life. We all have to go through it at some point. And it's in all of our best interest to make our peace with the fact that it's going to happen now than to just stress out about it throughout life. Or from a Christian perspective, Lord, give me the grace to accept the things that I can't change. But you ask what brings me comfort, and it's going to sound strange to you, but the fact that I don't have to go to heaven or hell is a huge comfort to me. The fact that I don't know what is going to happen to me is a big comfort to me, because it could be the adventure of a lifetime, something that we couldn't even fathom with our human brain. Or it could be a complete lack of consciousness, but our atoms just move on through this universe until the end of time. If there is such a thing as the end of time. But I guess in the end, the thing that's the most important to me is what kind of a life did I lead when I was here? Was I brave enough to experience as much as I possibly could? I think so. Was I curious? Was I kind? Did I stick up for the right things? And I think that I did all those things too. So I can look back on my life and say it was a life well lived. And if there's nothing beyond it, that's okay.